welcome to option number 1 of doing your crochet granny square. I'm going to show you my way of doing it. And option number 1, we're doing a continuous round. So what's happening is at the end of it, we build it up, we continue along, and we keep going in the same direction. Very much like a steering wheel that never stops to go back in the opposite direction. And what happens with this kind of concept, if you see the center, see how it looks a little askew from the outside? That's what happens when you go completely around and around if your tension is not great, or if it just naturally happens. So if that bothers you and people say, well, why is it twisting? It's because you're going around and around and the tension is in the same direction. Where option number 2, because we're going back and forth on the rows, is that even if there is tension like that, it reverses the tension to keep it straighter looking. But with this type of yarn, with the self-striping, it doesn't look as good for doing option number 2. But if you're doing a solid color or even just a transitioning color that doesn't matter so much, then option number 2 would be great too. So I'm going to grab a 5mm size H crochet hook today, and I'm just going to grab some value yarn to be able to show you how to do this. Now this video is going to assume that you know how to hold your hook and your yarn. We do have tutorials available on our channel for absolute beginners, but I'm going to teach this from a beginner's perspective, knowing that you know how to hold a crochet hook or the yarn in your hand. So let's begin option number 1. You don't need to waste too much of this yarn, so you don't need a huge tail. And what we're going to do is to create a slip knot. Using your finger, and we have tutorials available on this as well, is that you're going to take the end and wrap it around your finger twice. You're going to pinch your hand closed. You're going to take the back one and jump it over the first one, but not off your finger. You're now going to do the new back one right here, and you're going to pick it up and go over top of your finger. And this here would be your slip knot to start your work. So let's recap that. Point, take the end and wrap it around your finger twice. You're going to open up your hand and pinch everything so it's stable in your hand. You're going to play the game of leapfrog. You're going to leap this one over this one, but not off your finger. You're going to take the new back one, pick it up, and jump over the other one and right off your finger. And that would be your slip knot. So in real time, this just takes a few seconds to do something like that. And that's your slip knot. So you don't need a huge tail because you'll end up cutting the extra off anyway. We're going to begin by inserting your crochet hook into this slip knot. And when you tighten it, you're going to pull the yarn that is going to the yarn ball, and you're going to pull. And when you pull, you don't need to pull it so tight that it doesn't come on and off your hook really well. And now let's position our yarn into our yarn feeding hand. We're going to start off by chaining 4. This one on the hook never counts as 1. And we are just going to chain 4. So just pick up your hook, scoop it. This is called yarning over. So when I scoop, I yarn over and I turn the hook over and I pull through the knot. This would be considered number 1. And I need to push my hook so that I get to the area where it's the most straightest. This is the thickness of the stitch based on this diameter of the hook right here in the shaft. So we have the head, the throat, and the shaft. So we already have number 1 done. So we just push forward, scoop, and pull through. That's number 2 of 4. Let go, repinch, forward, scoop, and pull. That's number 3. Forward, repinch, scoop. This is called yarn over, and pull through. And that was number 4. So you now have 4 chains on your hook. The slip knot that you started with disappears. So you can actually physically count it. So you got 1, it's underneath the hook, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to take the hook and insert it into the beginning chain. So right here. Go on in, and you're going to scoop it, okay, yarn over and pull through that one, that chain, and also the loop that was on the hook. So this tight little circle is going to be the center of your granny square. And this tail here, you're going to wrap it around the outside of that so it gets stuck underneath so you don't have to sew that in later. And we're going to officially start row number 1 or round number 1 the way that I prefer. You're going to notice YouTube hosts and also books have different ways of doing the granny squares. There's no right way, it's what you prefer. So we're going to start with our very first loop here on the hook, and you need to chain 3 to start. This is your first double crochet of the entire project. So we're going to scoop it, so yarn over and pull through for 3 times. So we have 1, repinch, forward, yarn over, 2, forward, yarn over, 3. You are now going to place 2 double crochets right into the center of the ring, and it's not so obvious the very first time you do it, but it's there. And how to do that is that you're going to open the ring up, put the yarn tail around the outside of it, and just to do a double crochet, you're going to yarn over and take it with you to the center of your ring. Take it with you and go right into the center of the ring, right through to the other side. Keep the straggler on top of your hook. So when this goes down over top, it's going to get that, stick it in, and it's going to get stuck. So we're going to yarn over and pull through the ring. And now we're going to finish this double crochet. So we yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's a double crochet. This whole project is double crochet and chain work. We need to do another double crochet into there. So we're going to scoop it, so yarn over, and going into the center of the ring, it's going to be more obvious now. It's where the other one was. And going on in, scoop it, pull through, yarn over, pull through just 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So with the chain 3 and the 2 double crochets, that equals 3 double crochet. And each side on round number 1 here is going to have those 3 double crochet. So what I prefer on the corners, and it varies depending on the designer, I prefer chain 2 to turn. Designers sometimes prefer to chain 3. You have to decide what you like better. I find that chain 2 just looks better, but that's my own personal opinion. So we need to chain 2, so we're going to yarn over, pull through 1 time, go forward, yarn over, pull through again. So that was chain 2. And in the center of the ring, keep this so that it goes around the ring. That's the straggler. You're going to put in 3 double crochet this time. So we only chain 3 times the first time because we have to build up to the exterior of that round. To put in 3, you're going to scoop, and going into the center of the ring, scoop it, and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Move forward, yarn over, pull through 2, move forward, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, do another one. So we got to do 3 all together for this side. So yarn over and take it with you. Yarn over, pull through. We now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do another one. So yarn over, take it with you to the center of the ring. See how I'm just naturally just pinching that down so it gets stuck underneath. Yarn over, pull through the ring. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So this is officially one side, this is another side. So to turn the corner, the way that I prefer is chain 2. So we yarn over, pull through once, shift forward, yarn over, pull through again. That's chain 2. So each side has these 3 double crochets in it. So we have to start another side. So we're going to yarn over, take it with us to the ring. Yarn over, pull through the ring. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. We use video chapters in this video, so if you are understanding it, you can just go on to the next part. Just look at the video description for those time markers. So yarning over and into the ring. Yarn over, pull through the ring. Back to the 3 loops again. So yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Do another one, so yarn over, take it with you into the ring. So when I say take it to the ring, your hook is going in, but it's still wrapped around your hook. So yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So you can officially see now 3 sides are done. So now we're going to turn our work. So to turn, we are going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through another. So the size of the stitch is determined by the thickness of the hook. So we want to keep consistent when you're doing that. If you're just brand new learning, it takes time. It doesn't take that much time, but it does take time to learn that. So let's go into the ring again another 3 times. So yarning over, take it with you to the ring. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So do you see how you're getting pretty close to here? This is just in the ring, so you can just grab it and just move it around. It's not attached to anything, it's just resting in the ring. So yarning over and into the ring, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Got to do the last one, so we're going to yarn over, going into the ring, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you can see now that 4 sides are done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. What is missing is the final corner. What I prefer is a half double crochet join to the top of the chain 3 that you started with. And there's a method to the madness. If I chain 2, like it typically would say in a pattern, and I slip stitch there, what happens when you start the next row, the round, see where the hook is? Here. It's not actually on the corner at all, and it causes the whole work to twist. So how I avoid to do that in this option is that we are going to do a half double crochet join. It's something I learned and I've been using it ever since. So you wrap the hook and take it with you to the top of the chain work. Don't go into a space, stay within the chain work. Going into the chain work, we're going to yarn over and pull through. And in half double crochet, what we're going to do is yarn over and pull through all 3. Half double crochet is the equivalent of a chain 2. So what happens here is that this is still chain 2, like the other corners. The difference, see where the hook is? It's directly in the corner. And so when you're ready to start your next round, you're already in the right position to go. And we're now going to move on. So right where you're sitting, we're going to begin a new corner. We do first half of the corner on this, and then we finish that corner on the way back around. So we're going to start by chaining 3, and that's the equivalent of a double crochet. So scoop it and pull through, scoop it, pull through, scoop it, pull through. So this is getting us to the height of the stitch. That's why we're chaining 3. In the same half double crochet join, you treat it like a chain 2. You're just going to go right into the space and apply 2 double crochet into that space. So we yarn over and going in to the space, we yarn over and pull through. And there's those 3 loops again, so yarning over, pulling it through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have to do another one of those. Everything is in groups of 3, if that helps you to know that. So we're going to yarn over and into the same space. So corner space, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now, this is considered a cluster, a group of 3 double crochets together. Now, last time we had 1 cluster in each of the corners or each of the sides. This time there's going to be 2. So there's going to be 1 here on this corner and there's going to be another one here. So before we can start the next one, we have to chain 1. So there will always be a chain 1 that will separate the clusters from each other unless it's directly in the corner. So to start the next one, it's actually officially the next corner. You're going to apply 3 double crochets right into that corner. So yarn over and go right into the space of the corner. And in, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So we need to put 3 in those there before we actually turn. So yarning over into the space. Yarning over, pulling it through. Yarning over, pull through 2. Yarning over, pulling through 2. Let's do another one of those. Everything's in groups of 3, so yarning over and into the same space. Yarning over, pull through. Yarning over, pulling through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And now we have our 3 in here, so we want to do the turn. So whenever we turn in this, I told you it's chain 2. Some designers prefer chain 3, but I like chain 2. Just chain once and chain again. So chain 2 and go right into the corner space to start the next corner turn. So it's using the same space where this one is. You're going to apply another 3 double crochet. Okay, so wrap and in, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more time. So wrap and in, pull through 2 and 2. So you officially have turned. Do you see how they're both sharing the same corner? And now, what did I tell you that will be separating the groups of 3? Chain 1. So if it's not turning a corner, it's chain 2, and if it's separating along a side, it's only chain 1. And we're going to start and go into this corner next. So we're going to yarn over and in to the space, yarning over, pulling it through, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we have to make 3, right? So yarning over and in, pull through, pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarning over and in, pull through 2, pull through 2. And this is officially a corner, so we have to chain 2 to turn. So 1 and 2, and going back into that same space to form that corner. So yarning over and into that corner to create 3 more double crochet. now this corner is complete. So now you have to chain 1 before you can start another group of 3, and another group of 3 just happens to be the next corner in this round. So as each side gets made, as we get bigger, that gets another one of these groups. So it always grows by 1 extra group every time we go around. So another 3 double crochets into this next corner. One more. So in crochet, if you're new to us, these double crochets are also called a post. So you're looking for 3 double crochets or 3 posts. This is in a corner, so we want to turn our work, so we're going to chain 2 and come back into that same corner. And 3 double crochet will share that same corner. So now we have a new corner. So you can see this is where we've started, because half the corner is already done. So before we can start though, we have to chain 1 to separate the 3 groups, and we just have to put in the last group of 3 in the first corner. So this would say in the instructions, 3 double crochet in the beginning corner space. This is considered the beginning corner space. So we're going to place 3 double crochet into that same space. Now the other advantage that you're not going to see right immediately here is that by starting where I did, the joining of the 2 rounds gets buried inside the stitch work, because you're actually covering it over with this last group of 3. Okay, so the joining of those 2 were right in the middle of that, which is underneath, so you don't really see a slip stitch at all, or a connection. So we want to do a half double crochet to the top of the chain 3. It's right here. So this is the top of this stitch here. This is the top of this stitch. That's the top of the chain 3. So yarning over, go right into the stitch work. Yarning over, pulling it through. And this is a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that's your second round, just like that. And now we're going to move on to our third round. To do your next round is exactly how you did it before. You can see that you're already in the center of the corner because of the half double crochet join. So to start a new one, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And you need to put 2 more double crochet in there because that is equivalent to 1 double crochet to give you your group of 3. So yarning over and into the same connection space of the half double crochet, and you're going to double crochet right over top of that. So with the half double crochet join, that's the you're using the side of the post, if you want to be more technical. So once your 3 is in there, now your corner's not to over here now, so every time you're going around, you're going to have more of these chain 1 spaces appear. So to get there first, you need to chain 1. So chain 1 separates the grouping of 3 unless it's the actual turn of a corner, and you're going to go right into the space. So yarning over and into the chain 1 space, you're going to go in and yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So some granny squares, they don't put the chain 1 in between. Sometimes they put chain 2s in between the stitches, but this is a standard one where they use a chain 1 that separates the group of 3 double crochet. Now you need to get to the corner next, so you got to chain one before you start that one, and you got to place in your 3 double crochet right into that corner. Okay, and now you got to turn, so it's going to be a chain 2, and use that same corner space to put another 3 double crochet in there. So wrap it and take it with you. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so now the space is in the center, so the corner's not till here, so we got to work our way to that corner. So you're going to chain 1 and apply 3 double crochet into the space. So a lot of crocheters like granny squares because you're using space work and you can really whip around these things pretty quickly. So it's not like you're trying to count a stitch as far as trying to stick the hook in, you just look for the space. So the corner's next, we have to chain 1 before we get there and go right into your corner. So put in 3 double crochet first. Okay, we know we're on the corner, so we're going to chain 2 to turn and 3 more double crochet into the corner. So the difference between this round and every other round going forward is that the sides will get bigger in distance. So they'll get an extra 3 double crochet in between the corners each and every time. So we had 1, then it went to 2, now it's at 3. So the next time it will be 4. Okay, so chain 1 to separate the groups and come right into the center space. And 3 double crochet. Chain 1 and start your next corner. 3 double crochet to start. And then to turn the corner, chain 2. And apply 3 more double crochet into that corner. Okay, we're coming on our final side now, so we're going to chain 1, place 3 double crochet into the space. So you may ask yourself, well, what is the standard size of a granny square? It all depends on you. It's really subjective to your own personal thing. You can actually continue to make a blanket completely with this concept right to the end without ever having to do anything else. Okay, chain 1 to get you to your final corner where you started. This is the beginning corner space when it says that in patterns. So we're going to place our 3 double crochet in here, and this is going to cover up that half double crochet join. And once your 3 is in there, we're going to join it to the top. So you see this is the top of the first one right here. This is the top of this one. This is the top of the chain 3, and you're going to yarn over and going right into the chain work. So don't go into a space, go right into a chain and yarning over, pulling it through, and then yarning over, pulling it through all 3. So you can see that the center is starting to bias out a little bit. Like when it's small squares like this, it doesn't matter so much, but when you get bigger and bigger, you're going to notice that the center will actually be twisting a little way. So the other way of doing it, option number 2, prevents that from happening. But if you're using fun self-striping yarn or a color transition yarn, it may not look as good. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. I'm going to show you one more round. So as we start our next round, this is round number 4. So you're going to see that there's 2 spaces between the corners now. And so every time you go around, you're going to see more of that happening. So we're going to chain 3, and that counts as your first double crochet. So what is your experience with crochet? You can let me know in the comments how long you've been crocheting. So you're going to yarn over and go right into the corner space. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Do it again, so yarning over and in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, 2 and 2. So with the chain 3 and the 2, that gives you your 3. It's the equivalent of 3. So to get to the next space, you have to chain 1 first, and then go right into your next space and place in 3 double crochet. I haven't crocheted this low in so long, and actually I like the motion of it. It's kind of therapeutic. Okay, so you got your 3 in there. So in order to get to the next group, you have to chain 1 again, and then do it another 3 in the next group, and you keep doing that until you hit the corner. So can you do different stitches? Absolutely. So this is a generic traditional granny square. So the corner's next, so you got to chain 1 before you go there, place in your first 3 double crochet. I don't think granny squares ever go out of style. What goes out of style for granny squares is the coloring, pretty much, and then what it's used for. So granny square blankets I don't think ever goes out of style. So chain 2 to turn the corner and 3 double crochet. So currently in 2026, crochet granny square clothing is still all the rage. Hello 70s has returned, but in time it'll settle back down and something else in crochet will trend. Okay, so you're going to move along the next side here. So you're going to chain 1 before you start the next group of 3, and it's right into the space. When I first started doing granny squares when I was a child, I always had trouble with the beginnings and the endings of a round. It never looked good. And so it's small little tips like I'm teaching you today that would have sped tracked me along the way, because I had to learn it from reading a crochet book, and this is before the internet. So to go to your corner next, you got to make sure you chain one. So there's always a chain one space between these, and then you start your corner. So 3 double crochet. You probably hear a puppy dog in the background. She's barking at the air. Okay, so this is part of your corner, so chain 2 to turn. There you go. So if it's a 12 by 12 inch granny square that I'm doing for the charity, those take me about 35 minutes from start to finish, depending on what's on TV. So 35 to 45 minutes to make one granny square, and it is equivalent of 10 rounds. So to get my 12 inches. So depending on the yarn, sometimes you only do 9 rounds, sometimes you have to do 11 to get to the 12, but you just keep doing the number of rounds to get as close to the specified size if you're doing something like this for charity. So I'm letting my eyes determine, so I got to chain 1 before I jump. So I'm letting my eyes just determine the counting of 3. So you can count that to yourself, but I just look at it and just use my eyes to determine how many there are. I know, big shocker. But there's another 3, so chain 1, and the corner happens to be next. So every time you go around, you're going to get more stitches, so therefore it's going to slow you down a little bit more. As you get bigger, it gets a little bit longer to go each side, but you got to remember that when you do a granny work like this, that this side, see this distance in here, that's how much it's grown between the last size. So we've gone from this size here to now this size just within a revolution. So they grow really quickly. Chain 2 will get you to turn on a corner, and then 3 more double crochet in. It's why it's a go-to for crocheters. You don't really have to obsessively count, and it grows fast. Chain 1, come right into the space. At the end of today's video, I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends using a tapestry needle. Highly recommend it. If you try to weave it in with a crochet hook, it'll fall out. Chain 1, jump to your next space. And what you're doing is you're looking for the beginning. See how it looks kind of weird? That's the beginning. But it's very difficult to keep going around and not notice that. So that's something that it won't be too alarming for you. So chain 1, you're going to do your final space. 3 double crochet will get you into your final space. Now, if it's your very last round, which I'm going to make it my last round, I'm going to finish it differently than what I would be doing if I was continuing. So if I continue the same color, I will do a half double crochet join. If I'm changing the color, I will chain 2 and join it. And if I'm finishing my work, I will also chain 2 and join it with a slip stitch. So just coming into the top. So I yarn over, pulling it through and through. And that would be the conclusion of that. If I would, so when I add a new color, I can just add it to the top of that, and that'd be kind of cool. So I think I'm going to show you a color change here. I think this is a great opportunity, and I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends at this time. So to do that, you're going to trim, leave enough so that you can put it onto a tapestry needle. Guaranteed, if you use your crochet hook, it's going to fall out. So just take your loop, wrap it around your hook, and pull through that loop. And by doing that, it just locked it, so it'll never fall out. But this will fall out. So we have to put it into a tapestry needle. So turn it to the back side of your square. Do you see how the one side looks different from the other? And option number 2, it'll look different from this on the other side. So looking at the back, you were going to place in your strand into the needle. So what I'm doing is that I'm just dragging it through. It's better, and I'm just staying within the corner itself. It's better to separate the ply. Just don't go in between strands. And you're just going to pull it through so this join will stay underneath the stitches. Go a slightly different path on the way back to where you came from. And then one more time. Third time is the charm. And now you can safely cut that down. So if you do something like this, when you start your next round, it does look slightly different here, but you're going to cover that over with your next coloring if you're going to do it. And if you're joining it to anything, this kind of gets buried in the way. I'm going to show you a color change because we might as well do that. To do a color change, we are going to create a slip knot like we've already done before. Okay, so you just want to leave it long enough so it'll get stuck underneath the stitch work. And create your slip knot. And put this onto your hook. Now this is the front side of the work. It's called the right side, meaning that the right side is facing up. It has nothing to do with left or right. It's the right side facing up. This here, see how it looks completely different? This is considered the wrong side. So the designer will tell you attach to the right side, or if they don't, just assume it's the right side. So you're going to take your hook with the yarn already on it and go into your corner space. And you're attaching it with a slip stitch. So you're just going to yarn over and pull through, and you're going to pull through that purple one at the same time. And so now you've just slipped it around that stitch or that space. You're going to chain 3 to start. So 1, 2, 3. And in the same space, go right up over top of the straggler and the knot to bury it. So just go right into the space and place in 2 double crochet. And so that joining is getting caught underneath the stitch work. I'm not worried about this. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that when I come back. So you can see it's coming out of the stitch work here, and I'll deal with that when I come back around. Now, just like before, you chain 1, and now there's 3 spaces before the next corner. So again, it will be 3 double crochet in each space. So there's no difference on how you're doing it. So depending on the design, especially my designs, I like texture, so I tend to change things up, but this is a traditional granny square. Chain 1 and then jump to your next space. I recommend that if you're new to crochet, weave in your ends as you go, because you can end up with a really big project with a ton of ends at the end, and it's quite overwhelming. Chain 1 to separate the groups, come into your next space. So you're looking for the corner, which is right here. Chain 1 and then your corner. So the corner, just start it with 3 double crochet first. And then chain 2 to turn. Here's a tip for you. If it's your last round and you do not want the hole in your corners, then on the final corner, you would just put in 5 double crochet and not worry about the chain space at all. And that's a way to make the corner solid. So you're chaining 1 and then you jump to your next space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going around, and I'm going to speed up to my normal speed, and I will see you at the end of the round, and we'll just recap. And then this is option number 1 of doing granny squares in a continuous round. So I'm coming all the way around. I've chained 1, and this is the beginning corner space, and I'm going to apply my 3 double crochet there. So if this was my last round and I did not want to do any more, I would chain 2, slip stitch it here, fasten off. If I want to continue with this color, I would do the half double crochet join to the top of that and then start another round. In my case, I'm going to chain 2 and fasten off. And so I'm going to weave in my end later off camera. So if you really look at it, you can see that the center is just slightly twisting, and that is normal. But if that bothers you, which it does bother some people, then the other method, number 2, would be your best option. Before I leave you, we had gone over the top of this right here. We're going to just turn it over, and because we did go over top of it, it's just buried underneath. It won't come out. And then this one here, you would have to use a tapestry needle then to weave that in to finish that completely. That's it for today. We hope that you did good today. You can let me know how I did teaching as well as how you did, and hopefully you have a success story to share with me. And if you don't, that's okay too. It's not a race, and it's all about the journey of the stitching in the end. That's it for today. I'm your host, Mikey. Bye-bye.